Happy New Year! Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Great White Northerner, and we are here celebrating New Year's. And I thought it would be a great time to kind of review and recap what we found over the last year. So I have been carefully kind of following along and holding all my silver in a separate jar. So we can go through that to see what we found in silver this year. And I also thought I'd pull out some of the more interesting things that I found in some of my hunts. I found tons and tons of stuff this past year, but I really wanted to kind of pull out some of the more interesting or special items or some of the really cool things that I found in a hunt and share those with you just as a Happy New Year. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through these first, so then I can take these out of the way, and then we're going to go through the silver and a recap. And of course, there was that huge find at the midway mark of the year where we found just a ton of silver. So we'll go through all of that, recap it all in a second. So let's get started.
Let's just have a good time, live a good life. What you mean when you say you a new heights? What you mean when you play like all night? Nightlife is a highlight. I'm a fly guy, this is skyline. I don't got the time for my problems. I got the time to dissolve them. Music is my oxygen, I'm breathing, no stopping. You remember my oxygen, the music when it's dropping. Some about these vibes provided in these lines. I am to design the rhyme, checking my mind. Music be described, I got ahead of my time. Deeply prescribed, cause I feed it full of flies. Money ain't nothing, you turn it into something. But something for the money make you look real funny. Put my own name in discussion, I'm a hustler. Work real hard to show you that I'm coming. Yeah. Let me tell you that it's going.
All right, so let's start up here at the top with the nickels that we found this year. So these are just a few of the items that we picked up. So this is a 1962, and it is a double die reverse. I should have put DDR on there because the doubling is on the date. So let's see if we can see it in here. Sometimes in these flips it's a little hard to see, but I think it did show up. Yeah, you can see it already there on Canada. And there it is on that 1962. Quite a heavy doubling on the date and all through Canada there. So I thought that was kind of an interesting find. Not sure if it's a recognized variety or not. But the doubling is very pronounced on it, and I definitely hung on to that. So 1962 DDR. Right beside it here is our stack of 1970s. Most of these, if not all of them, all came in one hunt. And you can see these are beautiful examples of the 1970 nickel. It is a low mint key date year for nickels, and I have a bunch of them. They all came in just a few rolls in one box that I had hunted, and you can see these are all just beautiful examples of the 1970 key date year. So what an awesome find that was. That was really just ridiculous. And yeah, look at that. Just beautiful coins. So whole stack of them. Also got some 1945 steel no chrome. So the chrome on these is not showing up on the coins. These are just the steel versions of it. I don't have any chrome ones here. I didn't think to pull them out to show you the difference between the steel and the no chrome. But that is a variety to be watching for where they did not get the chrome plating. Beside this, I did find a 1996 proof nickel. It is probably just the near 6, but I don't know if I ever looked. Yeah, so just a near 6, but proof or specimen coin. Beautiful looking nickel. Found that in a roll. So that was neat to find. And we found a couple bear bellies this year. So 1990 is got the bear belly error in it. And if we throw this up here, you should be able to see it there. So there it is. Most of the belly hair is gone. Typically this area here would all be filled in with hair. And the bear belly error is a dye deterioration that all that hair is gone. So those were cool to find. And I think actually I might have found at least one of these, if not both of them, in the same hunt that I found these. So it's definitely a collector's dump if I remember correctly. So then getting into the quarters, we found a nice, this is a 2002 Specimen Quarter. We also found a 2003 Specimen Quarter this year. And we also found a men's hockey Raise 2. think we actually found 2 of them, and one of them is in my book, but I just pulled this one out so you can see it, and you should be able to see that if I throw this up on the scope. Right there on the leg, the 2 is raised rather than being enclosed into the leg. So that's what you're looking for on the 2002 raised 2 on the colored quarter. They actually used the non-colored die when they made this particular colored quarter, and that's where the error is, because all of the non-colored ones have the raised 2 on them. So we found a 1999P Delaware spitting horse, and that is a full die clash. The clash goes all the way right to the rim pretty much, and you can see that here. A beautiful example of the spitting horse. So that was a nice error to find. And then we get into the pennies, and we got a couple interesting things here. So this is, I believe, what they call a capped die. So you can see there is nothing on this side of the coin, but on the obverse is the Queen's effigy. So this is probably a 1982, I believe, if I remember when I was looking at it by weight, it's probably an 82. And but you can't see the date or anything on it because that die was capped and it did not stamp the reverse onto the penny. So very nice find. Also, just recently, if you've been watching my recent hunts, this is a 2006 No P magnetic version of the coin. Again, fairly rare coin. Could be, in this condition, anywhere from $50 and up. Could be more, depending on how people feel about the condition on this coin, but it is in excellent shape, and it is a very rare air coin from 2006. So happy I found that. Got a 1992D that has doubling on both the obverse and reverse. So I did check these. Most of these are showing up. There's a few of them where the plastic is causing some issues to be able to see the errors on there, but you can see the doubling on those columns all the way across, certainly on the left one, and then all the way over, you see in the middle there as well, and then all the way over on the right is doubling all down that right hand side. So and then there was doubling on the obverse as well, according to my note on the coin. So let's see if we can see that here. Of course it's upside down. Now you can see it on the D. And you can also see it on Liberty, I believe, if I remember correctly. And yeah, you can see it all around the T and the Y there. So that's kind of a cool coin as well. I know I keep saying that, but yeah, they're neat little finds. We also found a Specimen 1997 penny this year. And then down here we got another 1992P with the doubled columns. So let's see if we can see that on here. And there it is. See the doubling on the left of that column there, and then I think over here as well. Yeah, all the way down the right hand side. So great error coin. We also found a 1972 DDO FS108. I believe one of these I was looking and I was really having trouble. Yeah, for this some reason. Oh, you can see it a little bit there. There's the doubling on the R and the U. One of the key features on that one. You can see it on the T as well there. And then the 1947 DDO FS101, which we found just recently, so that would be in a previous video. And then, of course, the 1889 Indian head penny, which I'm not sure if this was actually this past year, but it is but it would have been since I began doing this back in August of 2019, I guess, is when I started doing these coin roll hunts and recording them. So, but I'm pretty sure that this was in the past year. If not, it's still a cool coin, and you don't find these very often. So, threw that in here as well. So those are some of the key finds. I found lots of stuff this year, but that is a nice little example of some of the stuff I managed to pull out of my coin roll hunts. All right, so let's get over into the silver. I'm going to cut away, and then we'll come back and we'll count out what silver we've got here to see what we found this year. All right, so there it is. That is the jar. Not terribly impressive perhaps by some of the American standards. They do have the advantage of being able to hunt 50-cent pieces, which we cannot do up here in Canada. So from a volume of silver perspective, all we've got are quarters and dimes to work with. But you know what? Somewhat respectable pile of silver there. I'll take it. I'm not going to complain too much about that. And let's add it up here. So we've got some quarters. We got some US silver as well that we found, 1954. And some of these are going to be 50%ers, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let's just add them up here and see what we got. So there's our quarters. Do have some King George VI, you can see there. There's a Bobcat, another 68. Maybe if I see them, I'll pull them out. Another 68. So a few 50%ers, is another 58. So they're obviously the most common that we're going to find in our hunts here is those 68s for sure. 64, 65, and another 68. So anyway, there's $2. Looks like $3.75 in quarters. And then I'm going to stack these dimes up and I'll come right back. Oh, actually, we got this one down here. So let's just call it $4 in silver quarters, and I'll be right back. I'm going to stack up these dimes. Got them all stacked, and so there's our $4 worth of quarters, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stacks of 10 of these. So that's $5 in dimes. Another 10 cents here, and then we got 3 US dimes that we found over the course of the year. I think they were all 64. Oh no, there's a 1948 in there. And then maybe this one here was also a 64, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So 2 64s and a 1948 US silver dime. And then we did find a King George V dime as well this year. So not a bad little haul of silver. $4.50 and 4. So $8.50 all total in silver for the year. I'll take it. I'm perfectly happy with that. Let's see if we can beat that for 2022. That's about it. Now, the only other caveat to all this is what I found in all of my other coin roll hunts except for one. So I'm just going to pull it up on the screen here. For those of you who have not watched my earlier videos, you're going to want to go back and check this one out. So here is my spreadsheet that I track everything on. So you can see what I've gone through this year. We've gone through 1,226 rolls of nickels. I don't really track what I find in the nickels. 1,723 rolls of pennies. Considering pennies have been discontinued and out of circulation in Canada for the last 9 years, since 2012, that's a pretty significant amount of pennies I've gone through. Found all sorts of cool stuff in there. And then you can see, starting about December 16th of 2020, is when I started tracking all this. And because I do record this a little bit before the end of the year, or a little bit before I post the videos, then I'm actually recording this on, I think today's the 8th or 9th of December, so that'll be a pretty much a full year of dimes and so on. And you can see right there, what was the date on that? February 26, 2021. There was 31 rolls of dimes in that one hunt. 199, if we scroll up so you can see what that is, 199 of the 67s and 68s, 772 of them that were 80%ers, 223 from 1937, 1952, and then all the way back into 2011, sorry, not 2011, 1911 to 1921, the King George V's, and we also found 4 US dimes. So on top of everything that's in this pile, there is that pile, and that is an awesome video to watch. If you haven't seen it, I will stick it up in the corner up here so you can see, go back and take a look at that. But that is an incredible hunt, and that was the dimes. We scroll down a little bit further, and there is the quarters. 379 of the 50%ers. And you can see across there, 1,177 of the 80%ers, and then going back by date, all the way back to 4 US quarters in there as well. What an incredible haul that was. It was almost an entire box, 48 rolls of quarters. Also found a 1970 in there as well. So anyway, that was a spectacular find. I'll probably never find anything like that ever again. What an incredible hunt. Go back and check that out if you haven't seen it. And yeah, that's my year. So not a bad haul. This was pretty decent. but of course not, I've purposely carved out that one particular hunt because that was just basically all silver. So all right, well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me this year. I appreciate everybody who supported my channel, everybody who's liked and subscribed, regularly made comments on the videos. I hope you're enjoying this. It has been a lot of fun for me. I expect to continue to do some more hunts. We're working on some book filler series as well, doing some collaborations with some of the other YouTubers and coin roll hunters out there, and we're going to continue to try and put out some interesting content for you guys to see as we go through these coin roll hunts, and make sure that you guys know what to look for when you're doing your coin roll hunting. So thank you so much for coming along with this. I really do enjoy doing these, and thank you ever so much for watching along with me. So thanks. You guys all have a great new year. Hope you have a wonderful 2022, and we'll see you in the next hunt.